All right, welcome. Humans, critters, anyone who enjoys this. We're going to continue our journey through the Yoga Sutras. And this morning we're on Sutra 135. So in the big picture, we're at this part of book one where he's offering lots of different ways to meditate. So the next few sutras are going to be sort of more research into try this and see if that works for you, and try that and see if this works for you. And the method today that he describes, I'll read the sutra. So, or the concentration on subtle sense perceptions can cause steadiness of mind. Or the concentration on subtle sense perceptions can cause steadiness of mind. So basically, part of this practice is learning to concentrate. And he's giving us different methods for learning to concentrate. In the commentary, Swami Satchidananda talks about the sense of smell. He basically says, bring your attention to the tip of your nose. And if you can keep your attention there long enough, you'll notice things you've never noticed before, like beautiful smells. I tried this morning, and all I could smell was my coffee. And then he goes on to say, just keep trying, like it's there, and if you work hard enough at it, you'll smell flowers or all of the wonderful things that are out there. And then he says, and the whole point isn't to develop these extra sensory powers, but to develop the ability to concentrate, because the practice of meditation is really about learning to see the true nature of reality. And the true nature of reality is there's all these things in our sphere, I don't know the right word, sphere, including smells all the time, and sometimes we're just not tuned in. I'm gonna lead us in a meditation this morning that's also about tuning into our senses, but it's one that I think is more accessible at some levels. And you know, the point of these practices, he says, is to kind of get that you can hone your senses to a new level of beyond what you have in your everyday walking around life. So we're going to do the hand meditation today, and I know some of you have done this with me before. That doesn't mean it doesn't have utility. But if it's new to you, it might open a new awareness that's not there when you're walking around. And the truth of all these practices is it's waking us up to what we don't notice. So whether it's the smell of flowers, which is not really prevalent in a closed room like this, or the feeling of the energy in our body, it's always in the sphere that we're in, and we might just need to tune in a little bit. So we're going to tune in today. We're going to tune in specifically to our hands. So for this practice, I usually have you start with your fingers touching and a little space between your palms. Okay, so instead of pushing your palms together or having your hands just resting, ideally fingerprints can touch. My pinky fingers don't touch sometimes, so just do your very best. And then take your hands and rest them somewhere comfortable. So I'm sitting in a chair, I have my feet on the floor, and my hands rest comfortably between my legs. If you're sitting cross-legged, kind of figure out a way to do that. You could even, if you need to, put a pillow or something in your lap. Okay. Let's begin the practice. So start by closing or lowering your eyes so your attention comes more inward. And before we get very specific, start at a gross level, bigger sensations. Notice your foundation. Yeah, so whatever you're sitting on, adjusting if you need to. Notice your feet and your legs. Just from the outside in, not necessarily looking inward, but what's touching what. And then bring your attention to your posture. Create some ease and some alertness. Anchor into your breath for a few moments, just as a grounding practice. For this meditation, just a natural breath is enough. Bring your attention to your hands. So your mind's eye goes into your hands. Start by noticing the contact points between your fingers. So feel the touch between the fingertips on your left hand and your right hand. Notice what you feel. Might be just a sense of the warmth of your fingers, texture, any sensation at all. And picturing in your mind's eye both hands and the place where they touch, the space between them. Zoom in on your thumb tips. And bring your attention to the place where your thumbs are touching. And allow your attention to move from your thumb tips down the length of your thumbs towards the palms of your hands. And let your mind sort of inhabit the space of your thumbs. Notice the skin surface on your thumbs. Allow your attention to move from the tips of your thumbs down into the base of your thumb, into your palm. And then move your attention along the length of your index fingers without rushing, just noticing any sensations. Noticing the place where they touch. Rest your attention at the touch point. Perhaps you feel a vibration or just any sense of energy. And notice if there's a lightness or a heaviness. Notice the space between your index fingers and your third longest finger. So there's that air gap. Bring your attention into that space between. And then the space where your third longest fingers touch each other. Feel any warmth or sensation. Maybe there's even a pulsation. Draw your attention across the top side of your index and your third fingers to the backs of your hands. Just rest your awareness on the backs of your hands. What's right here? Travel your attention around to the palms of your hands, the space between your palms. Notice where your ring fingers are touching. Notice the whole length of each of your ring fingers. So occupying the space from your fingertips to your palms. Draw your attention back down into the palms of your hands. The skin of your palms and the space between your palms. Allow that attention to travel up your pinky, smallest little fingers. If If they're touching, notice that place where they touch. And notice the space between your smallest finger and your ring finger. Add your attention to the space between your ring finger and your third longest finger. Start to notice all of the space between all of your fingers and your palms. Keep your attention steady. Let your hands sort of float up out of your lap if they're resting. And bring them about navel height. For now, your fingertips are touching. Your awareness is in that space between your hands. Allow your hands to come apart just a little bit. And keep your attention in that space between them. And very gently start to move your hands towards and away from each other as if you're squeezing a little ball of air. If you start to sense that ball of energy, get a little bit curious about the size of the ball. Maybe your hands expand a little further apart. Allow yourself to just research what's here. And bring your awareness to what you sense. Your hands might just open and close very gently, moving towards and away from each other. Now allow your hands to rest comfortably in your lap. And bring your attention back to your breath. Notice your inner space, the space inside your skin. Bring your attention to your whole inner space. Start to expand your attention to your outer space. It's the space outside your skin that your energy might occupy. Maybe there's a color to the space. Maybe not. Take a fuller, bigger breath. We'll do that again, another nice big full breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. So I always like to hear from folks, especially if you're new to this, about your experience. Is anybody doing this for the first time? Raise your hand if this is your first time doing this one. Oh, yay. Anybody that's done this for the first time want to share? No? Robert, I'd love to hear from you.
So for some reason, it feels weird to me to connect my fingertips together. Since I can remember, since being a child, it just feels weird to me, strange to me, odd to have them together. But it does feel, so when we finally got to feel that energy, I was playing with trying to sense where I could feel my fingertips from each other and try to feel where I could feel the energy, that little aura, whatever you want to call it. That's what I was playing with when I was doing the fingers away and back. It was kind of neat. I like it.
Yeah, so some people feel pretty palpably like a kind of like a magnetic thing where you're pushing two magnets towards each other. Not everybody senses into that same experience. And it's just sort of an awareness of what's already here. I mean, we know from science that we're energy bodies. Some people are very tuned into it. I am not. I mean, have to really, really put my attention and pay attention to sense into that. And I feel like, some people are just constantly aware of other people's energy and feeling when it's coming at them, or and so, the practice is to just sort of fine tune our awareness. And even if it starts with just like, the tingling feelings, those tingling things are happening inside us all the time. I mean, we're vibrating molecules walking around all day long, but we usually don't notice our vibration. It's just something that we take for granted. And when we start to pay attention, we start to see what's there that we might not notice. I call this my hand meditation. I didn't make it up. I actually learned it from Lynn McSweeney, who's also a teacher here in Savannah, years and years ago. Questions, comments? All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Wide awake and aware of what's around you and inside you. All right. Namaste.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kate.
Whoops.